What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video. And today, Goat House dropped a mock. So, of course, got to give our feedback on that. If you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe, especially if you love draft content, because I do it almost every single day. And especially during times like this where I'm not in school, you get it probably multiple times a day. So, of course, if you love the draft, this is your place. Let's start off by looking at these picks. Goat House has his own unique opinion. He's fun to listen to, so shout out to him. Obviously, I don't always agree with his opinion, and that's kind of common with every single person to every other person in this entire realm of football. So just because I disagree doesn't mean that he's wrong or anything like that. Just want to put that out there. But there are some things in here that caught me a little bit off guard. But again, honestly, Goat House, he does a great job for being unique. I mean, what he makes all these, all the graphics and stuff. So I gotta give it to him. I don't do it myself. So, for him, I'm sure he might have like an editor or something to do that. But regardless, at least he's original. I think that there could be a better way of doing it, but that's just my opinion. I think that there's always a better way to do it. So, especially for my channel. So in the future, we'll be getting to even better than what we see here. Starting off with the number 1 pick, Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. He pretty much is the guaranteed number 1. KT for number 2. Again, kind of guaranteed number 2 pick. Like you just have 1A, 1B right here. Well, not really 1A, 1B. KT is a little bit lower than Aiden right now, but still KT is a beast, and the Lions desperately need some edge help. 3 with Kyle Hamilton. Again, I value the offensive line position more. However, again, this guy is a unicorn on the defense. You just don't see them guys built like Hamilton ever. So if the Texans do that, that is one of the few guys I am perfectly fine with them taking. Number 4, Evan Neal out of Alabama. Perfect pick. Perfect pick. If you're looking for a right tackle, get Evan Neal. Yeah, I mean, you're stealing him from the Giants as well. So that's great. Giants going Kenny Pickett. Don't know how much of an upgrade that is over Daniel Jones. However, the contract, pretty nice. I think that investing in the offensive line is key. So he does that with Charles Cross. Again, at this point, it's like a matter of preference. So I'd rather go Ike Ekwonu. Like talking about quarterback for the Giants at number 5, I just don't like the quarterbacks in this class. I'd be willing to take a shot on a later round dude. Not later, but like second, third round, depending on who is there. So if you can get, I mean, honestly, I don't know how much of a downgrade Desmond Ridder or even Carson Strong. Well, in this case, he is Carson Strong here, but we'll talk about that. Like, I think the value in round 2 or round 3 with Bailey Zapp is going to be way better. But that's my opinion. Number 7, Carson Strong. If Go House is watching this, I will just like to say that Carson Strong has, I believe, had 3 knee surgeries. So the medicals are really dependent on that. I think it's going to push him down because he's not been able to remain fully healthy for a while. Even though I think one of those was just a cartilage clear out, it's just still, it's a big red flag. And I just don't think Carson Strong compares to SEC, Big Ten, ACC style quarterbacks at Nevada. Just my genuine opinion, I don't think Carson Strong is worth a first round pick. But I mean, he's shown he has the arm talent. He's shown he can do a 2-minute drill. Those are things that you want to see. I don't think the Panthers are looking for a guy like Carson Strong. However, I do agree with the position. Derek Stingley's next. I totally agree. I think Derek Stingley falling to 8 is starting to become pretty damn popular. So it is definitely something to look at. Number 9, you got Icky. Honestly, I think that a corner like Sauce or even, I mean, you could talk about Andrew Booth as well. Those guys would be probably more worth it. However, I have Icky higher on my board. If you want to go after offensive line, it's a lot more valuable than a corner. So I would not complain if Icky decides to go to the Falcons. Don't know if that exactly fits what the Falcons usually draft, but not a terrible selection by any stretch of the imagination. Devin Lloyd's next. I mean, I don't think that Devin Lloyd's value is going to be up there, especially given the Eagles' draft history. They just don't like drafting linebackers high at all. And I just don't think Devin Lloyd brings to the table what a number 10 pick should be, especially what it should be to the Eagles. Like if Micah Parsons were there, and they passed on him, they traded up, passed on him, then I don't think Devin Lloyd gets close. Kenyon Green for Washington is not a bad selection whatsoever. Again, I think that quarterback should be the priority, but given the second position of need is offensive line, cannot complain too much. Again, the teams don't go based off of our estimation of their needs. They go off of their own. Number 12, Roger McCreary to the Eagles. It's a position of need. I don't think Roger McCreary is the number 2 corner in this class by a long stretch. I think he's about corner 5 for me right now. And I mean, that is with Kyler Gordon coming into his heels. Like, he's a good corner. I just don't think he competes with guys like Sauce Gardner who bring a little more oomph to the table. 13, Matt Corral. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I am having a weird feeling Matt's going to be falling quite a bit. I have a weird feeling for it. He's very thin. His arm is adequate, but his play style, especially this year that has gotten him into the first round, is not as NFL ready as it was last year. That's a hot take of mine. I get that. But the NFL, you don't have guys sitting there 15 yards open, right? Matt was told to basically be more cautious. And you see how that affects him in the red zone. He's thrown quite a few red zone interceptions this year. If I'm not mistaken, I think a majority of his interceptions have been in the red zone when there's less room for him to make, there's more room for error and less room for his receivers to get separation. So I'm a little bit worried about that. And I think teams will start realizing that too. It's something I'm thinking he's going to be pushing towards the later of the first, especially at his weight, getting injured with 2 sprained ankles at the same time. Just, it's a thought. Malik Willis to the Saints. I mean, I think they would go after a day 1 quarterback like Sam Howell. However, Malik is my QB1. I can't complain. I love him. He's just fun, really fun. I love Malik Willis. I think he's going to have a better pro career than at Liberty. Garrett Wilson is next out of The Ohio State University. Love it. Absolutely love it. Same thing with Jameson Williams. I think those are big, big, big pluses. Again, you could go after another position like cornerback, but you can't complain about getting a high-end wide receiver at that point. Next, we got Nakobe Dean. This is the pick that really made me want to do this video. Yeah, I'm just not. I know the Steelers didn't pick up the 50-year option on Devin Bush, but I don't think Nakobe Dean accomplishes more than what Devin Bush has been doing. Devin Bush has been more of a blitzing linebacker, which Nakobe is an excellent blitzing and coverage linebacker. But I mean, I just don't really see the Steelers doing that when quarterback is on the board. Offensive tackles are available. Center, Tyler Linderbaum, I love that guy, is there. So I don't think that is our corner. Yeah, like, I mean, you look at Andrew Booth as well as Sauce Gardner on the board and Kyrie Elam. The positions of need are exponentially more valuable than this one. So yeah, it's just I'm gonna push back on that pick. Again, I could see it happening if the Steelers fall in love with Dean and they just don't want to bring back Devin Bush, but it's an area of concern for me. Andrew Booth is next. I don't think the Ravens would ever go after their 5th cornerback. You have Marlon Humphrey there for a long time. You still have Marcus Peters there for another year. And then you have Brandon Stevens there and a couple other guys as well. I'm forgetting all their names, but I just did my Ravens mock. So, I mean, if you guys like the Ravens, check that out. I think that the value of corner for this team is probably one of the worst. I think this would be a great spot if they wanted to. I don't think this is a trading mock. It's a great place to trade back with a team that needs a corner. You need left tackle or right tackle, depending on where you want to put Ronnie Stanley. You need also center. Get Tyler Linderbaum on the board. That is another perfect pick. Of course, I'm a Tyler Linderbaum fanboy. I'm going to admit my bias. I just think there's better positions, even strong safety. So, yeah, I don't think this one was anywhere near to the top of their needs, but I can't deny he's one of the best players available. And usually teams go after a best player available. So it's not something I would destroy. It's just something I would be very concerned about going forward into the next rounds. If you guys get what I'm saying. 19, George Karlaftis is an amazing pick. He's just not going to be here. The guy's he's just a technical freak at his size. He's just so bursty as well. Probably going to do very well in the 3 cone just because he has an excellent short range burst to him. So yeah, I think Karlaftis is ready day one. If somehow he is here for the Vikings, they sure as hell better take him, or else fire Zimmer, fire everybody. Karlaftis to me is a top 10 talent. If I'm not mistaken, he might be number 6 on my board. So yeah, I mean, he's a beast. 20, Sauce Gardner out of Cincy. That's a damn steal. It's a damn shame he's here, but it's also a damn steal. So, cheers to the Bills. They get a stud. Tyler Linderbaum to the Dolphins. That's the one offensive lineman besides Cross that I would take for him. So get my double thumbs up there. David Ojabo, I love the fit for the Chargers. I will say I'm doing my deep dive on Ojabo right now, and you have to assume that he's going to get a lot better because again, he just started playing football not too long ago. As of right now, if he were not to progress any further, I think he'd be my edge 7. Like legitimately, that's also how damn good this class is. It's not like saying David Ojabo is not worth this pick at all, because he is worth the first round pick for sure. I think that he's an excellent talent, but especially when projecting growth, he has a redshirt sophomore, did not even start the last game of the year. He wasn't assigned as a starter. Really weird for me, to see that, but I think it's a great fit. Treylon Burks to the Eagles. Very interesting. I don't know if they want to go with a guy like Burks, but I wouldn't put it out of the question. I think wide receiver is a perfect position to address for the Eagles, especially with Howie Roseman as their GM. It's interesting to think about Treylon Burks here. Drake London for the Lions, not a bad pick. I think Chris Olave might still be on the board, so I'd definitely go that way. Then you got Jackson Kirkland. I mean, I don't know if Go House has kept up with the draft community or with Washington, but Jackson Kirkland might be one of the biggest fallers the entire year just because he's been embarrassed time and time and time again, just shown no anchor whatsoever. And I mean, his athleticism is the only thing that's going to get him anywhere. It's not good for him. It's not good. I think that I'm hoping he assumes he's an offensive guard, and then maybe a right tackle hopeful. Because in the first round, there ain't no way in hell I would be willing to take a guy like Jackson. I always thought he was a guard, got convinced into thinking he might be a tackle, and then was reconfirmed on my thought process of him being a guard. Zion Johnson is the next pick. Don't think guard is exactly the number one need for the Titans. You still have left tackles on the board. I still think that linebacker could be something you could address. Corner, even with Kyrie Elam on the board, it wouldn't be a terrible idea to go corner. So I think there's better positions of value. Zion Johnson is far from somebody to scoff at, though. He did play left tackle as well. He's a good player. Just I think he should not be at number 26. Number 27 with Jordan Davis. I mean, it's the one position that I don't like that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, they need a nose tackle. I guess it fits, but I'd much rather go after a guy like Trevon Walker, Kingsley Enagbare, or I mean, that's probably where I'd cut it off. So yeah, okay. Kyrie Elam next. Yeah, it's a great steal. Keep Kyrie in Florida, so not gonna complain. Jahan Dotson, make that pick myself. Love it. Daxton Hill. Yeah, I don't agree with this one. I don't. Daxton Hill's played all of his snaps from the slot corner position, and he's supposed to be a slot safety, and you still have Anthony Brown there. So I really do question why you'd go with this pick, especially with how Curse has been playing this year. I just think that strong safety is probably a little bit more valuable than a slot corner that can play safety as well. It makes me question a little bit. Then DeMarvin Leal, yeah, I mean, it's worth it at this point. I don't like him that much just anymore. It's kind of sad. He lost sight of himself, I assume. He just got really out of shape and just didn't look as explosive as he did last year or at the beginning of the year. Just not a fan of what Leal tried to become. He tried to become a D tackle, and I think he should have been trying to stick to who he was as a very explosive 290 pounder. And he doesn't look good anymore. Bernard Raymond's last pick. I think that the Packers should be they maybe will go off after offensive lineman, but I am just not the hugest fan of the Packers taking Bernard Raymond when there are other, if I'm not mistaken, is Chris Olave on the board still? I'm pretty sure Chris Olave is, because I never call his name. Yeah, so Chris Olave on the board. I think you gotta go with that one. Or you can go with edge like Kingsley and Nagbear. So, or Arnold Ebiketie losing one of the Smiths. So yeah, I think the position should be suited better there. But overall, I mean, this is far from like a bad draft in any, like, again, there's reasons behind all these picks for the positioning. I just think that information on Jackson Kirkland and over here with Carson Strong might be key to flipping some stuff. But overall, Goat House, cool. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Of course, if you guys want to get tighter knit into the community, we got links to the Discord down below with over 100 people in there. So check it out. See you guys on the far side. Peace.